Hey YouTube, this afternoon I'm finally getting around to making some float adjustments here on my Holly. So those of you that have been following this know it's been great when I lay into it, but once I back off, everything seems to freeze up. It starves for fuel, sputters, dies, and every now and then I can get it to come back. And what I think is happening at the moment here, the fuel level is set so high that it's letting the float somehow hang up in there. So what I'm getting ready to do right now, it's both float levels through the sight windows. The fuel is below the sight glass level. I can see it sloshing there. I'm going to crack them open, loosen them up a bit, back it off some to lower the level, tighten it back down, and then hit the electric fuel pump to see where we end up at. So I will start the first change here now. So first up is crack open the lock screw in the actual lock nut itself. You want to get that guy to pop loose so you don't start shredding gaskets when you make the adjustment. Alright, let's see, it is clockwise to lower the float level. So I'm going to hold the set screw, go a little past a half turn, and then we'll lock it down there and see what that gets me. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the rear float. Which that one is locked down good and tight. So I'm probably going to pause it here for a second while I take care of that. Okay, have the rear one loosened up now. And it felt like it had been put in with Loctite. So back it off a couple screws here. Just a little fuel pop loose when I did that. Alright. And I'm going to need a smaller 5/8 wrench apparently. I just do a couple quarter turns here. So I'm going to hold the lock screw. Go just a little over. And then we will cinch this back down. I think technically I'm supposed to be holding that nut while I tighten it down, but it really didn't move, and it's really just the first go at it. Alright, we'll move the camera around so you can get a view of what's happening here and hit the fuel pump. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. You got the bird's eye view of the primary fuel bowl. I'll rock the car a little bit and see if you can see some fuel moving around in there. You can see it splashing around a bit from side to side. So let's turn the pump on and see what happens. Alright, so on the primary side, that came way up, and the secondary side, it's hard to tell from this angle, but it looks like it may have stayed right about where it was supposed to. So I'm going to have to start the car up, try and idle some fuel out of it, and then we'll rerun this a bit, see if we can get this float level down. I'm going to kill the video for now. I'll be back momentarily. Alright, we idled it down to where it's below the level where I can jiggle the car around and get some slosh to show up there. So I will back it off another, go full turn this time, see if we can get that fuel level to drop, and see if we can get this taken care of. Okay, here we go. Time to hit the fuel pump again and see what kind of level we get. Alright, I'm thinking at this point maybe time to head on down and see if I can find a rebuild kit or a trick kit. One of the gaskets under the set screw, now that it's got a little fuel on it, is starting to bulge up like there's like a sponge. So I'm going to hit the end, it's dribbling out fuel. So I am going to hit the fuel pump one more time, see if we get any fuel level rise, and more importantly make sure it's not trickling out fuel. If it is, then that'll be the end of it for today, and I'll have to get a kit in and see what I can do. So we'll get the fuel pump again and see what happens. Well, good news, bad news. Looks like the fuel level's holding about right where I want it to, but it's seeping out fuel up top, and this brings back some flashbacks because I've been about this exact position before and ended up on fire. So I'm going to call it a day on this one and see if I can pick up a kit and then maybe film going through setting these float levels from the inside out on a bench. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, hit the little notification bell, and I'll keep them coming. Thanks, everyone.